While the New York trial court showed no mercy for R. Kelly when they wrongfully convicted him on 10 counts with completely no regard of what the U.S. law says and with a total lack of evidence to prove he was guilty, the Court of Appeals just doesn't operate with the same naivety. When dealing with cases such as R. Kelly's characterized by prejudice and multiple illegal activities by the prosecution, the appeal court is usually no nonsense. R. Kelly's case qualifies as one where the government has been at their worst when it comes to behavior in keeping within the law throughout their operations. While we all saw how Robert was prejudiced and denied all his primary rights, the government did not stop at that. They also made sure to breach the U.S. law at every opportunity they had, just to make sure they delivered a good service to whoever had hired them. The actions of the prosecutors together with the Bureau of Prisons and their judicial counterparts quickly made our nation comparable to a banana republic. They not only shamed the country for its prejudicial tendencies when it comes to handling defendants that look like R. Kelly, but also exposed the incompetence and incurable corruption in the U.S. justice system. While we knew that the government would not leave any stones unturned in their effort to implicate and lock up the R&B king, we did not expect them to stoop as low as hiring the Bureau of Prisons officers to leak what was supposed to be confidential attorney-client communications that R. Kelly had with his lawyers. And to go as far as using this information to aid in a robbery one of the witnesses, Savage and Clary, is said to have committed at the Trump Tower apartment. For those who didn't know this, the latest news has it that what caused Savage and Clary to flip on R. Kelly and help the government to unjustly lock him up was her participation in a robbery that saw her steal R. Kelly's money at his Trump Tower residence during the time he was detained at the MCC. If you didn't catch this story, it turns out the leaking of R. Kelly's prison communications was not only meant to convert Azriel into a government key witness, but also to relay information to her on the whereabouts of R. Kelly's cash that he had left at the Trump Tower residence and have her steal it from him. And after she had done this, she knew well there was no way she was going to have to look in his eye again and claim to care. And so she was left with no other option but to join the government and put what she hoped would be the last nail in the coffin to ensure R. Kelly dies in prison. While the detail of this story may not count much for this New York appeal, the act of leaking his prison phone calls into the public domain alone violating his right to privacy is enough reason to see the appellate court overturn the New York conviction. In fact, this alone was sufficient for an acquittal according to attorney Michael Leonard, but since the Brooklyn judicial team chose to overlook the matter, it will be the appeal court to deal with it. Additional to the Bureau of Prisons' misconduct is the lead prosecutor Angel Kroll's failure to adhere to the rules of the game, and choosing to engage in evidence gathering from journalist Jim DeRogatis using a disposable email which she chose because she knew that whatever she was doing was illegal. As if that was not enough, the same prosecutor also engaged in inappropriate communications that saw her send suggestive messages to the Chicago case principal witness Jane, commenting on how she was glowing with her pregnancy and flirting with her. This unprofessional behavior alone was illegal and greatly compromised the cases against R. Kelly. These, in addition to the acts of double jeopardy that saw prosecution retry cases R. Kelly had dealt with and beaten back in 2008, provide a good basis for his attorney to argue out a meaningful appeal. Meanwhile, when you study all the New York charges, you will be surprised to find that almost all of them just don't apply well with the events described in the trial transcript. No testimony could justify the racketeering charges, and likewise no testimony could defend the Mann Act violation charges. There is nothing R. Kelly did that equates to trafficking. Nothing whatsoever. Having your girlfriend meet you in California to attend the Oscars is certainly not trafficking. Likewise, taking a holiday off with your girlfriend is no trafficking either. Unless the government wants to declare the parents the real traffickers, considering in a number of testimonies, the women described events that saw their parents either drive them across states to have them meet the R&B king, or even took flights with their parents in some instances. But even then, for as long as the purpose of travel is not necessarily engaging in illicit business purposed for monetary gain, it cannot be a Mann Act violation. All these factors put into consideration clearly show that R. Kelly is set to win his appeals no matter what. Also to note, as the appeal dates get closer, the parents of the so-called victims cannot help but panic. Of late we have seen two sets of parents who were deeply involved in the R. Kelly takedown lock horns and throw tantrums at each other on social media. And by this we are referring to the Savages and the Clarys, who are parents to Joycelyn and Azriel respectively, both girlfriends of R. Kelly. Tim Savage suggests the Clarys were not being truthful throughout their participation in the surviving R. Kelly, and even in court when their daughter had to testify against him. Here is a recap.
Man, when I met Angelo was a nice brother. He come off as intelligent. He come off as, caring. He came off as that he was somewhat in the same situation I was in.
Okay.
So that what made us bond. I think he was at that time I thought he was a great guy. I took up for Angelo, bro. I never thought that Angelo was talking to Tasha to destroy me. And little did I know that that's what he was doing. He was, because Tasha said it out of her own mouth that everything she got that said my wife slept with our, said my wife had missing teeth or something, that all came from Angelo. Or anything that said something. Yeah, Tasha said it. She said, I got all the information from Angelo. And when I heard that, man, I just heard that last year sometime, right? And I never really got on YouTube that much because I tried to stay off of it because my concentration was my daughter. It was not to think about the people who made fun of me or fun of my family, or I tried to, block that out of the way and just, do what I can to help my daughter. That my concerns was my daughter, not Robert or not Tasha K or Angelo or what somebody said about me yesterday or somebody
and I understand that because when it comes to this YouTube social media stuff, yes, people are reporting, but it's entertainment. People are here for the entertainment, the drama, but they don't understand this is your real life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's true. And I was just shocked that Tasha K would do that and not come to me first and just find out the truth, because I've always told her the truth. So I have no hard feelings towards her. I just wanted her to come to me instead of just blogging about it or just trying to edge things on or say something that was not true. She could have just came to me, but my lawyers told me at one point, he told me stop talking to Tasha K because he said Tasha K don't have your best interest. And I told Tasha that, and I think Tasha was mad because I said that. I said, I'm going to have to stop talking to you because my lawyers don't want me talking to you because they don't think you have my best interest. Well, she was like, Tim, I got your best interest. You allowing your lawyers to come between me. I said, well, that's just what I'm going to do right now, And after
nothing personal. You just following what the attorney said. Yeah.
Right. So after that, I end up just, she started coming at me. Like her and Angelo was on a page one day. And I did see that, after the lawyer had told me they had to stop talking with her, just after, it was like 2 months later, bro. She came at me and Angelo came and said, oh, my daughter, and this is his key words now. I may not say it for word, but they was on the page together, and Angelo stated something to Tasha to say, your daughter is sleeping in the other room, and his daughter is sleeping in the bed with R. Kelly. I found that very much so horrific that a father that thinks it's okay for his daughter to be sleeping in the bed with Robert, and it's okay for my daughter to be sleeping on the couch. Either way, sleeping in the bed with Robert or sleeping on the couch anywhere near this guy, I thought it was just that was a high concern.
Thank you for watching LFN News, a production of LFN Media, giving you another view of issues at hand. To get notified whenever we post a new video, subscribe to this channel now. And remember to give us your comment on the subject matter below.